Alright, what's going on, guys? It is your boy TKD. Want you to here back again with the video, and we are back here with our Road to Part 2 series. I have my co-host with me, Starks. What's happening? How you doing?
I'm well.
Beautiful.
Hello. How are you?
I'm good. It's all good. I've been itching to play factions lately, but I've been cocaine addicted to Borderlands lately. And it's a bit of a thing. I beat the first and second game in like 10 days, which if you know how long those games are, it's actually insane that I did it. But yeah, I just been
impressive. Good, congrats.
I just felt the itch, but today I feel the itch for factions. Today I feel the itch for factions. Let me talk correctly. So I might play some factions after this, but that is not the topic at hand here. We are talking about, of course, Last of Us Part 2, the weekly series where we go over any and all things Last of Us. Road to Part 2, as we lead up to Last of Us Part 2. And E3 has came and gone. Did not see any trailer from Last of Us Part 2. I don't know if you had any rumors. I know there was a big, a big contention that you had that you were thinking that we were going to get some sort of trailer during the 6-year anniversary of Last of Us, which I would have bet yes on. But that did not happen, unfortunately. And Neil Druckmann, that's separate from the topic at hand here today. He had a little interesting at in that tweet where he said that for everyone that asks him about the release date, he will push it another 5 minutes. How you feel about that? How you feel about that?
I actually misinterpreted the tweet because I know I responded and then I tagged you and I was like, oh, 5 minutes, that can translate to 5 months, meaning we're gonna get it in, I think I said I mentioned how we were supposed to get it in November, but it was pushed back. But I totally misunderstood that tweet.
Yeah.
I mean, I don't know. I feel like I know this is probably mean to say, but I feel like Naughty Dog, some of them, or not the employees per se, but just the company as a whole, I feel like they're kind of not arrogant, but just kind of mean, kind of cocky, because it's been a year. It's like obviously people are gonna ask for the game.
I mean, right. Yeah. I mean, I thought he was totally just being playful and just being jokeful and everything, and I'm sure they have.
No, he totally was.
Yeah.
I don't know. I took it as stop asking.
right. And I'm sure they have a schedule of when they're going to do all this. When they're gonna drop the trailer, when they're gonna drop a release date. I'm sure they have a plan for this. I'm sure they don't. I think a big reflection. This will be just a quick little intermission before we get to the main topic at hand here. But I think a lot of what we're seeing right now with Naughty Dog and the release of Last of Us Part 2 is that I feel like they could be a bit fatigued or a bit tired of having to delay their games, right? Especially with Uncharted 4, that got delayed, I think 2 or 3 times, I believe. It could have been 4, but I think it just 3 times.
I think it was 2.
2 times? Okay, 2 times. I don't believe Lost Legacy got pushed at all, as far as I'm aware. But I feel like they are now wanting to just not speak until they know when it's dropping. You know what I'm saying? I don't think they want to do, these constant delays anymore. So I think that's what we are seeing reflective of Part 2. How, you are very right. We have not heard of it in a year at this point. A little bit over a year, but the years have changed, but pretty much a year. We haven't heard from Part 2 or seen anything new at all from it. So I think that's what they're going with here. I think that they were just trying to, just not have so many delays in their games, perhaps, maybe. I don't know.
Yeah, I think what Naughty Dog is trying to do, personally, because sorry, you can hear me all right? Mm-hmm. Okay, because my computer keeps resetting or something. But anyhow, just let me know if you can't hear me. But I noticed that I think what they're trying to aim for is have a very clean, record when it comes to, this game, as well as all the other, their previous game, their future games, because we know a little to nothing, really. I mean, I guess we know a lot about the game, but not enough, because we obviously have to play it for ourselves. There's no multiplayer reveal, although they've been working on the game for a while now.
Yeah.
We haven't seen Joel. We haven't seen any official trailer besides the teaser trailer. And no news in regards to any new updates anytime soon, right? So I think what they are trying to do specifically is ensure that the record, just from when the game started getting marketed, I guess, or I guess it hasn't really been marketed, but you know, like they're trying to make sure that everything's good, right? You know what I mean? So they don't have any delays or pushbacks or and stuff like that, so it doesn't like, because for Uncharted 4 they obviously had 2 or 3. You're right, they did, right? And that kind of looks bad on a game. Like, for it doesn't matter who you are, but and some people are gonna be like, oh wow, why did it get pushed back twice? And then they're gonna pick something out of the game to be like, oh, this must be the reason, and kind of complain about it, you know. But at the same time, that means that Naughty Dog better be doing something freaking amazing, because if they don't, and a lot of people don't enjoy something that they do, then it's gonna be like, wow, this is what you took so long to make. You know what I mean? So
yeah, I feel that.
it could work in both their favors, I guess.
Yeah. I mean, I think we're both in the camp of like Last of Us Part 2 is going to be amazing. But to get to the main topic, Andrew, you already mentioned it previously in your statement over here. We were talking about good old Joel. Now, this was the last episode that my Mac decided to corrupt and not release to the public. But I said, you know what? I will not let technology overpower me. All right. So I will have this uploaded. I will do it. But we are going to talk about good old Joel. You know what I'm saying? The Last of Us 1 protagonist, obviously. And as we know, the main character of Last of Us, even though now Last of Us Part 2, we are playing mainly as Ellie. And, you know, that is corroborated by, of course, Neil saying that that Last of Us is a story about Joel and Ellie, you know, so it's very easy how we can have Ellie as being a playable character in part 2. But let's just talk about Joel. You know, Joel is the open discussion here. Do we want to go over what we know of Joel in part 2? I think that's a healthy place to start. Okay. So, the first time we ever saw Last of Us Part 2, whether it be CG trailer or gameplay, was at PSX 2016, is that correct?
Yes, sir.
Okay, PSX 2016. We got that, of course, really beautiful trailer with Ellie on the bed with her guitar and stuff like that. And Joel walks in through the front door, is walking through, holding his, you know, iconic Magnum, you know what I'm saying? Or whatever revolver that is, I'm sorry. But probably not a Magnum. It looks short to be Magnum, but whatever, doesn't matter. His revolver, and then you know, he goes in and says, "Are you sure about this, kiddo? Are you sure about going through this?" Something like he questions Ellie on what she's about to do. Mm-hmm. You know, so that was the first time we saw Joel, and there was debate on like how he looked. Did he look a little bit older? Did he look, you know, a little bit weird? But we can get into that a little bit later on. So then the next time, well, we haven't seen him since. We have not seen him since. We do our second and I believe last time we ever hear of him, besides his mocap artist Troy Baker, of course. Yeah. We have in the gameplay reveal where we have new character. Oh my God, what's his name? Gosh, I should have prepped. Jesse, thank you. I almost said like Jack, whatever. Jesse. Jesse tells Ellie that, quote, her old man has been giving him a rough time. Yeah. You know, I believe it was. Your
old man really. Oh shit, I forget it.
Really laid into me.
Yeah.
Something like that. That's what that is. Yeah. So that's pretty much the only two parts here, right? So I think there's a lot more to unpack with the second half, where we have you know, Joel laying into Jesse, right? And I think it's pretty much assumed from everyone that's played Last of Us that if anyone's going to be referred to as Ellie's old man, it is Joel, right? I mean,
indeed. Yeah.
Like,
for sure.
I don't see who else I can be confused with. So that's why I'm really like, okay, that is 100% Joel. You know what I'm saying? So the fact that he, you know, we know that Joel is a fatherly figure, right? You know what I'm saying? Whether it be, you know, a tough love father or just a loving father, he does embody that fatherly figure, right? Mm-hmm. So that could be an angle of why he laid into Jesse, but I think more specifically, I think he has some sort of leadership role in Tommy's encampment in part 2.
Yeah, totally, because what was mentioned by Jesse is he was like, oh, he told me not to go here, not to go there, and then he also states how it's funny how involved he gets whenever you're scheduled to go out, obviously referring to Ellie because there's directly talking to Ellie. So that 100% implies that Joel has some kind of leadership, probably some kind of patrol or security role based off of the fact that he's been out in this world doing a lot of missions and stuff. I know he did stuff for Tess, or I'm pretty sure he did stuff for Tess, or I know he's smuggled things before, I believe.
Yeah. He definitely did that. Yeah.
Yeah, so he has some experience.
Right.
So, and good or bad, right? As we know, experience is experience, as Loki said in Avengers Infinity War. But anyhow, basically, Joel does have some good experience. So he definitely has some kind of leadership role, and I think it's fair to focus a little bit on Ellie's expression and just her tone when she asked Jesse, like, oh, what did he say, right? And then she kind of like rolled her eyes. I think that's the expression I get when after he said how after Jesse said how involved he gets whenever your schedules go out. She was like, oh, really? Like, yeah, that's kind of whatever, right? So I definitely think that there's some tension between those two, right?
Tension between Joel and Ellie.
Yeah, Joel and Ellie, right?
Ah, that's an interesting angle I haven't thought about. Okay, so, well, actually, we have thought about this. I guess that all unpacked from the, of course, ending of Last of Us. Spoiler alert. I don't know why you'd be watching this video if you haven't played Last of Us 1, but spoiler alert, I suppose. Of course, the end of Last of Us 1 ends with a beautiful, pseudo cliffhanger that I love. I love the ending of Last of Us so much. And that is that, Joel lies to Ellie. Like, straight up lies to Ellie about how the whole ordeal went down when they get to it wasn't the university, or was it a different university?
No, it was
where they end
Fireflies, right? It was in Utah. It was
like a hospital there.
Sorry, not Salt. Oh shit.
Salt Lake City.
Yeah. So yeah. It was but I forget it was the bus depot area, right? It was around that area.
Because I know the second to... Hold on, I'm trying to remember. So... No, so they go to the university, and they think that they're there, then they're not, and they say, no, we're at this last location. Then before that, Joel gets injured at the university. Then they go through the snow whole thing where Joel's injured and stuff like that, because he got, because he fell, whatever, and fell on glass, which got hurt. But, whatever. That whole thing. And then after the snow area, they go to the last place. I think it was at a different university or like hospital type deal. Nonetheless, they go to the firefighters are going. They have to do what's it called? A biopsy?
Surgery.
No. It's like,
or some kind of
I know the
removal.
term. It's when like someone dies and they have to go and like look at what happened. Biopsy. It's something opsy. Y'all.
I think it's biopsy.
Do y'all know what I'm talking about? I'm sure the comments will let us know. But whatever that process is called, where they cut open the body and they assess the situation and see what happened to the person, they have to do the same thing to Ellie. So they essentially have to kill her.
Sorry, it's called a biopsy.
Biopsy? It's really that sounds wrong, but it sounds right. I don't know.
It says an examination of tissue removed from a living body to discover the presence, cause, or extent of a disease.
All right, so, there we go.
Biopsy.
There we go. Hospital facts with your two boys over here. Was good. But yeah, so they have to do that, which of course would mean that Ellie had to die. Joel doesn't want that, so Joel goes on the killing rampage essentially to save Ellie. And he says that they found other patients, right? Doesn't he said that they found other people like her, so they didn't need her directly, and they had plenty of people at the facility and didn't need Ellie.
Right.
So man, it's so crazy. And then Ellie is kind of like hesitant on the answer. Like he isn't like, she doesn't think it adds up. And then she says, swear to me. And he says, I swear. And straight up lies. And then the game ends. So
and she says okay.
Yeah. So
which
good.
A lot of people recognize that, or I guess determine that, hey, Ellie did realize that Joel lied. And honestly, I when I played the game, pardon me, I watched a full walkthrough before I played the game. I know I'm not really an original fan. However, when I finally played the game, I was like, wait, does she know he lied? Because I mean, if that was me in this situation, I would have been like, all right, thanks for letting me know, and moved on. I wouldn't have realized it was a lie. But a lot of people, and I think Neil even stated that she realized that, but apparently, sorry, I know we're talking about Joel here, but apparently Neil had a far different interpretation of the ending as opposed to everyone, or most people who played the game rather. So that's interesting. But yeah.
I mean, for me, I thought that Ellie didn't know that he was lying. I thought she just accepted it and just went on.
Same.
I didn't know that we are led to believe as players that Ellie knows that he's lying. I know that.
Sorry, not to cut you off, but something that parents tend to do is I guess it's flipped around. The roles are flipped around, but typically when I lie to my mom, which I've done, like she said, like I would, she asked me a question and I say yes, and then she's like, oh, okay, but a part of me feels like she can't, deep down she realizes it's a lie, but she just doesn't want to attack it, kind of thing.
Right.
So I guess it could be the same thing, except I know that's more of a that's kind of reversed roles. Typically parents try to protect their kids, but maybe in this instance Ellie's she's grown, she's excelled, and that's the interpretation Neil Druckmann made, because I was watching the summit a couple weeks ago, and he mentioned how they both grow more. Actually, Ellie probably grew a little bit more than Joel, because Joel didn't need to grow. I mean, I guess he did kind of grow as well, because he came to the realization that, listen, I love this person, she embodies my daughter,
right,
in a way. But she's grown, and she's now that father figure for Joel. Honestly, if anything, Joel's probably really old, so she might have to end up taking care of her, not in the sense where she has to change his diapers or anything. First of all, how they're gonna get diapers, but my point is, like, the roles I think are gonna definitely change for part 2.
I mean, at the I think the way that relationship works between Joel and Ellie, right? Like, I feel like Joel, over the course of once being a standard human, right, in a world that is not inflicted by this disease and by this epidemic, right, like, as he has had to live through and do what he had to do to live in this new world, his humanity in a way sort of like fizzled out, right? But I feel like Ellie restored that humanity in him in a way. You know what I'm saying? Like, how he, I know he is one that tells Ellie this, and he didn't really need to hear it because he knew it, but I feel like he needs to exercise this notion of what he tells Ellie, where it's like you like have to have something to fight for, or his life is not worth it. You know what I'm saying? Like that whole theme, right? So I think that Joel always knew that, but I feel like because Ellie was in his life and they went on this whole journey with Ellie, and he he helped Ellie and stuff like that, and went on this big journey with her. I feel like to a degree, like, some of his humanity was kind of restored through Ellie, right? And I think Ellie, what Ellie gained, I think, was what she says in the room after she finds out that Joel wants to leave her with Tommy, and that's that that everyone in her life has left her or died, and that
everyone except fucking for you. I love that scene.
I love that scene so much. Oh my god. Yeah, I know, exactly. And then she says after that, she says, and I'd be more scared if I wasn't with you.
Mm-hmm.
Like, damn, totally. That hits if I may.
And so in that case, then I definitely think, I don't know if we ever talked about this before in previous videos, because this is the 3rd episode, right? I believe we did.
Yes, because
we did a date one, and then the first one was what was the first one? What if we were gonna see more or something like that?
I think the first one was the release date. Second one was like a release date part 2 type deal, where we kind of know that. It's not.
This is the 3rd episode. So if you're watching, by the way, thank you for watching. We appreciate that. But I definitely think then, based off of that scene and based off of the last scene, that those two kind of go hand in. I definitely think that for this part 2, and I know this is not about Joel specifically, but that their relationship isn't going to be so positive. But it's more so, it's like a love and hate relationship that everyone has with their parents. I can't express how much, well, I wouldn't say I hate, but I love, and there are things that my parents and my brothers as well do that I can't stand, but I still love them unconditionally. Same thing goes with some of my friends. Some of them do really stupid things, but I still love them. So I think it's the same concept where Ellie recognizes probably that, hey, Joel lied to me, and I appreciate him trying to protect me, but I'm gonna try my best to fight for what's right.
So I guess where does that leave? I guess this. I mean, I'm just so curious about where do we see Joel in part 2? You know, because I am of the notion that I don't want to see Joel until I play the game. I do not want to know where he is. I don't want to see him. I think you want to see him, and that's cool if you want to see him. I don't.
I'm not like some of the gamer bros out there who are mad because they have to play as a female. I have no issue with not seeing Joel at all. All. I know a lot of people are like that, and it's like, why are you like that?
Yeah,
it's quite. You're right. You're right, dude. I wouldn't mind not seeing Joel. That would be so sick.
Wait. Let me be specific.
Yeah.
I do not want to see Joel before the game comes out in a trailer.
Right.
Or a gameplay video. I do want Joel a part of the story, and I know that he will be part of the story, obviously. But I don't want to see him before the game. I want to be like blown away when I see him for the first time in part 2. Wherever he is, what he's doing. And The Last of Us Part 2 takes 6 years? 5 years. 5 years after the first one. So Joel will be aged a little bit more. You know what I'm saying? I'm just curious as to what he's. I mean, you know.
I think Neil has done a great job kind of reconfirming fans, or reassuring fans, that listen, this is going to be a tale between Ellie and Joel. We're going to see more of Ellie, but it is a tale between these two individuals. And based off of the first trailer where we see Joel being like, hey, Ellie, are you sure you're going to go through with this? And whatever. I think somebody in some point, or a group of people, possibly that religious Seraphites people, possibly somebody more significant, maybe Ellie's mom, who knows, somebody, the Firefly, some significant somebody or someone kills an important figure in Ellie's life, probably Dina, because if you see in the gameplay trailer, Dina is wearing a blue bracelet, in which Ellie is wearing in the previous shot of her killing a bunch of people.
Yeah, I did.
So that was intentionally done, dude.
Yeah.
Obviously, I think 100% Dina gets fucking killed. Obviously, I think that's maybe not, but who knows? If not, I'll be kind of disappointed, because I feel like come on. Naughty Dog loves to do that stuff, but I think it's obvious.
I'm gonna butcher the name of that, but I think it's called a Hamsa. I did a video on that. About the suit.
Yeah, I know. I think I saw that video. Yeah. Great video.
Cause Dina is Jewish, and so that's Jewish?
Oh, I figured. Okay. She kind of. Yeah. Okay.
If I'm wrong on that, I am severely sorry, but I believe she is Jewish, and that's where it comes from. That symbol and stuff like that, and that.
It means good luck or something, right?
Yeah. It's supposed to bring good luck and protection, I believe. So
my thought is, okay, the way it's set up is Jesse, and this could be a whole nother video. Sorry, I know we're kind of straying off the topic here, but I feel like we have to, because there's not a lot of Joel. But based off of what's been set up, we have Jesse, we have Ellie, and we have Dina, all within the same range of age. I think Jesse might be a little older, but Dina and Jesse were dating, which means they're probably not significantly older than each other. Dina looks a little younger than Ellie, but probably not. Maybe a year older, maybe the same age. And based off of what's set up, all three of those individuals, the following day after that event, they go on a run. They go on some kind of patrol. Jesse, Ellie, and Dina, and probably other people, right? That's what's been established, unless I'm reading into this way too wrongly. But that's what they said, right, in the trailer. And I 100% believe that something terribly happens. Perhaps these Seraphites, who Ellie seems to be killing each and every single one of them, kills either Jesse and Dina, probably Dina. Dina gives the bracelet to her and say, Ellie, here's for good luck, right, when she's about to die. and then she comes back home. Ellie's the only one who lives, and she has to make that moral choice to kill each and every single one of those Seraphites, in which Joel ends up saying, you know what, Ellie, if you're gonna go through with this, I'm gonna help you do it too. Right? Boom. That's the story of The Last of Us Part 2. I think it's too obvious.
That's because like I don't know, like, because
then we still have we don't even have the Fireflies involved here, so I don't know. It's like there's so many different things, but that's the way it has to happen wrong in that patrol, or maybe not. But I think that's what they're kind of gearing up for.
It's a lot. It's a lot. I don't know. Yeah. I don't know. But I'm just Is there any other thoughts you have on Joel? On our pal Joel, you know what I'm saying? Big homie. Does he ever get his coffee? We don't know yet. But
he's gonna drink coffee in the game, 100%.
Absolutely. But it's very interesting because I want to know, but I don't want to know until we get the game. Is the issue here?
Right.
Is that because I love Joel as a character. Same. I think he's amazing. Same. I think he's a really, really good character. Troy Baker, of course, plays him magnificently well. I love his accent. You know, he's just a really, really cool guy. You know what I'm saying? I love Joel. I love Joel so much. And so I guess one of my last questions here is that do you think Joel is gonna see the sun set the last time and his time will perish in part 2?
I think so. I think Naughty Dog, if they don't kill an integral, either Ellie or Joel, one of the main protagonists in the game, who have been established since the first one, unless there's a third one, which I doubt it, but there could be, I definitely think Naughty Dog would be missing a great opportunity to do so, because with Uncharted 4, or the Uncharted series, spoiler alert, but none of the main characters die. Sully, I thought Sully was going to lose his life in the fourth one.
And the third one, actually. In the third, too.
Well, yeah, the third, dude, that was the first time I've ever played an Uncharted game. I was like, what? He died? I didn't even know, anyways. That scared me, and then it turned out that it was a whole hallucination. But anyhow, so I think this would definitely be the perfect opportunity to either kill Ellie or Joel. I more so think Ellie might end up losing it, right?
Really?
Yeah, because what if they do it where it's like The Last of Us Part 1 again, where Joel makes the sacrifice, the decision to go on this journey with Ellie to support her in killing all these Seraphites. Let's just say that's the arc of the story. And he supports her knowing that it's a bad decision, and she ends up getting hurt or killed, and then he's left with himself, and then maybe, who knows, maybe he kills himself at the end.
Wow.
That's so dark, but
it is so early for that talk right now. Holy crap, that's crazy.
That'd be great.
Well, I mean, because now I'm thinking of, do you remember when, of course, the big homie dog Neil Druckmann posted that final scene of mocap for part 2?
Yeah.
And the way he verbalized in the tweet, it sounded like there was some sort of death that occurred, or some sort of tragic ending. He said like it was some magnificently shot, mocap scene, like the most ambitious scene they've ever done. Could that be a reflection of the opening to Last of Us? With Joel watching his daughter Sarah die in his arms, and then could he be going through that same thing with Ellie?
Oh man!
Wow, that's crazy.
Maybe she turns.
That's crazy. No, I mean she can't. She's not. She's
I know, but I heard
immune.
people saying that it's definitely that could happen. But oh man, if that dude, if that actually ends up happening in the game, that's gonna make me lose it.
That's heavy.
Emotionally, of course, I'm not gonna hurt anyone, but
that's heavy. Yeah. Oh man. But any lasting thoughts on Joel you have for the episode before we wrap up, sir? Do you have any last thoughts? Anything you want to say about Joel? Anything you want to see from Joel? Anything you're wondering about Joel? Anything at all? Let me know.
Well, I just hope we get I don't know, just a moment between Ellie and Joel. His mistake. And I could have sworn, I think I mentioned this in the episode that was this episode, but it was deleted, so we apologize for that.
I'm gonna call it the lost episode, if I may.
Sorry?
I'm gonna call it the lost episode.
No, the lost episode legacy. But anyhow, no, I think I mentioned that in the one that was corrupted, where I hope we get a moment between Ellie and Joel where Joel admits his wrongdoing. And personally, I don't think he was wrong in lying to Ellie at all. Because I would have done the same. Right. But actually, I probably wouldn't have done the same. I would have told him I killed them all. But because I'm an honest person. But anyhow, no, I hope we get a moment where and I'm sure we will, because Naughty Dog loves to do those emotional conflict dialogue stuff where the teammates kind of get mad at each other. Like they had it with Nathan Drake and his brother, as well as Elena. They had it with Nadine Ross and Chloe, so they're gonna have it in this one. So I hope that's the moment where Joel says, "Listen, we're almost at the line of this journey. I wanted to say something to you. I lied, Ellie. I feel bad about," or something, something like that. That'll be cool. But yeah, that's what I want to see, and I hope we get a kick-ass game with Joel in it, man. I really do.
Right.
I don't mind if we don't, but Ellie's cool. I love Ellie. But yeah.
Right.
How about yourself, sir?
Yeah, I'm trying to think of what do I want out of Joel. I think I want Joel to find some happiness. You know what I'm saying?
Oh, with a girl, right? Like another, or
I don't
just
know.
In general, just.
I don't know about with another girl. I don't know what has to entail for him to be happy, but I just want to see Joel, like, with a cup of coffee,
music.
Yeah. Some music and just being happy for once, because I don't think we saw him happy at all in Last of Us 1. I'm trying to think of a time he was happy in Last of Us 1.
Yeah, you're kind of right.
You know what I'm saying? Like, I don't know, like, because he has had to have done a lot in this world, to survive, keep people around him alive and stuff like that, and to just endure this world overall. Like, he's had to do a lot, right? A lot. Yeah. And so I would just want to see him just find happiness, whatever that means for the story, whatever that means for Joel himself specifically. I just hope he has some sort of happiness factor, or perhaps a good end to his arc. But
I agree.
We shall see. But ladies and gentlemen, that has been episode 3 of the weekly series Road to Part 2, where we go over any and all things The Last of Us and Last of Us Part 2, just overall series. But Starks, where can the good people find you? Oh, I hit my mic really hard. Where can the good people find you, Starks?
You guys, if you're still watching, first off, I appreciate it. Also, congratulations to the Raptors. I just have to put that out there. But you can find me on YouTube, youtube.com/thestarks, as well as Twitter if you want to catch me up on there. And yeah.
Beautiful. And you can find me here, of course, on PlayStation Source. And you can also find me, of course, on my Twitter and the link in the description. You can find me at PS Source Vids Twitter, or at the KDS13 on Twitter. You can follow me on there and see all my hot takes and stuff like that and all that good stuff. Wow, my phone is loud. How dare you, phone? How dare you? Insanity. But yeah, so we will be back here next week with episode 4. Hope you all enjoy. And if you guys have any topics that you would like us to cover, anything that you have been wondering about, want to see a really cool conversation about Last of Us, let me know your thoughts, and let me know your ideas down in the comment section below. And let me know how you feel about Joel. Where do you want to see him end up? Where do you think he is? What do you think he's doing in part 2? Let us know all your thoughts down below. And of course, down below in the description, you can find our different links to follow us as well. Our Discord link is on there. Our Twitter is on there as well. Make sure to hit up those links, as well as leave a like on the video if you enjoyed it, as well as stay subscribed to PlayStation Source to keep up with latest and greatest in PlayStation. Thank you for watching, and as always,
greatness awaits.
Was that
sorry?
Joel?
I was trying to be Joel.
That's lit.